What's your reaction to some of what we saw there? A lot of it creative video by the Ekran cable TV people. What are they trying to say there?
They are trying to express their own point of view on what's going on in Moscow or even in the country. But they are trying to do so very successfully. And I think that when coup happened, they decided to make their own documentary on this event, and all the days during the coup d'etat, Dmitry Sinetsky and his friend they were making films, they were making documentary around the city. I mean, what was happening in Moscow that days. They made shot of tanks, of armed vehicles, of soldiers, and they also, in addition to this, they gave their own comment on this issue, and that's it. Now it's like a documentary, a real documentary film, one of many.
Let me interrupt to ask you a question, because we're going to show some of this documentary that they made after the coup was over. This channel is in your home in Moscow, in your apartment, and
yes.
It goes to 500,000 other apartments, hooked up via what's called a master antenna system. On they have an antenna on top of each of these apartment houses. They hook into that line and therefore get into a channel on the television set. There's only one channel on their cable system, unlike here where there are as many as 55 or 150 in one case. The question I guess I'd have for you is, we saw earlier where Mr. Yeltsin called in Mr. Yakovlev and said, now it's your control over Channel 1 now, and you have control over the Russian channel. If Mr. Yeltsin calls and let's show a picture of the gentleman that we were meeting with that night, the psychiatrist, or I guess they're psychologists, not psychiatrists.
Yeah.
The two men who are in charge of the cable system there, and you'll see them in just a second. Do you happen to remember their names, by the way?
The man which is sitting at the table, this is Vladimir Nazyuta. He is chairman of this cable television studio.
And you pay for it every month?
He is paid. And
but I mean, you as a resident have to pay for that channel.
Yes, I have to pay 50 rubles for subscription and 40 rubles for the half of the year.
The question I have for you is that if Mr. Yakovlev or Mr. Yeltsin were to call these men and say, turn off your programs, we don't like what you're putting on, what do you think they would say to them?
They didn't switch off, of course. They couldn't switch it off because it's their own project, it's their own dream, and it was in their minds maybe for the last 5 years. And now to follow the orders of politicians, I think that it's not in their rules. And I think that, of course, definitely they wouldn't switch off.
You feel comfortable that they feel independent enough not to switch it off?
Sure. They are lucky themselves, and they are happy, real happy. When I met these guys, maybe you also noticed when we held a conversation with them, that they are really obsessed people. They are very creative, and they are not going to quit their job in forthcoming future, and they are interested in their work as in this particular cable television studio.
Vitaly Shamov is here with us for the first time in America from Moscow, and as a matter of fact, we've got some more pictures that we could show you. If I might give you a personal comment, sitting in their studios there, it reminded me a great deal of what the size of this network when it started back in 1979 with not so fancy equipment. And those two pictures you see there, one is looking, if you had a camera in the lower left-hand corner looking at the set, and the other one is sitting on the set looking out. So you can see how small and very much in a startup position. They use VHF's equipment. The two gentlemen on the right are the two that run this cable channel, and then the fellow in the middle with the mustache what is his name, and isn't he a deputy from the local region?
Yes. He represents our district in Moscow City Council, and he also was there live from the first days, and he joined them, and now he is one of the main people at this cable television studio who plans what's gonna be in the future on this channel, and what plans do they have. He also participates and planning.
But he is a government. He is an elected official of the district.
Yes, he is a representative of our local region to Moscow City Council, and if they have any problems, if they have any questions, they can, on behalf of his position, they can apply to Moscow City Council to help them, or if there some difficulties, if there are some problems, he can come to Moscow City Council and say that I represent a studio, and this our local cable television studio has a lot of 500,000 subscribers, and you must listen to us. What's our preoccupation?
Okay, let me see if we've got. Is Naugatuck, Connecticut, on the line?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
I'm an American atheist. American atheists visited Moscow about a year ago at a book fair. They visited the Atheist Institute in Moscow, and they were sort of shocked that the library had almost no atheist books in it. They didn't seem to have any program about atheism or educating people about the errors or fallacies or history of religion. They seemed to be very complacent and thought religion would just wither away by itself. And we're very concerned in America, American atheists, that Russia is going to fall prey to a lot of these religious vultures that are picking over the bones of Russia, and that the Russian people really haven't been educated actively about the fallacies and history of religion.
All right, thank you. Have you, let me ask you personally, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Are you religious, or would you be called an atheist like this gentleman? A non-believer?
No, I'm a Christian, and I believe in God.
Did you understand his question? He wanted to know, when he was in Moscow, why there's not more literature available about atheism. You know the word atheism?
Yeah, sure. Oh, thank you. The problem is that when communists were still in power until recently, they held many campaigns, various campaigns against God, and that's why they tried. They made people to be atheistic, if I say this word, okay, atheistic, and that's why maybe it's like an echo from the past time that many people cannot bear this word anymore, because for them this word reminds very dark times when believing in God was persecuted. And I think that of course we have many atheists. They can do whatever they want, but and as for literature, maybe that books which were written about atheism also contained some point of view of ruling power, of communism, and that's why they don't serve anymore.
Juneau, Alaska, then we're going to show some more tape. Go ahead, Juneau.
Yes, I'm Father Mansky. Last September, I was passenger chaplain on Pallada, Russian tall ship Pallada, from San Francisco to Kushiro, Japan. I could not get to Russia. They would not give a visa. I made many good friends. Many of the cadets and Captain Yuri attended Roman Catholic Mass. Here's my question, however, Vitaly. I try very hard to send financial help to friends. Totally frustrated. People do not get my letters. I do not get their letters, except from Vladivostok. But from Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky and Sakhalin Island, High Marine College, no letters. They receive no letters from me, I not from them. Have you any suggestion, Vitaly, how to get financial aid to my little friends who are hungry. I can talk to them on telephone, but they are hungry. Thank you, Vitaly.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you have any possibilities to call them, please call them, because you are perfectly right, and I agree with you that letters, in most of the cases, people cannot receive letters from their friends from abroad. And I also, some time ago, I tried to be a pen friend, and I tried to send letters to the United States, but I never had any answer. And I'm not sure that my letters were actually sent to the United States. If they cross the border, I have many doubts that if these letters crossed the border.
Got some more videotape, and this next videotape is the videotape of the kids doing some creative artwork. Let's roll it, and you'll see what we're talking about here. This comes from the cable channel there in Vitaly's building.
Живописцы, окуните ваши кисти в суету дворов арбатских и в зарю, чтобы были ваши кисти словно листья, словно листья, словно листья к ноябрю, чтобы были ваши кисти словно листья, словно листья, словно листья к ноябрю. Окуните ваши кисти в голубое, по традиции забытой городской, нарисуйте прилежно и с любовью, как с любовью мы проходим по Тверской. Нарисуйте прилежно и с любовью, как с любовью мы проходим по Тверской. Мостовая пусть качнется, как очнется, пусть начнется, что еще не началось. Вы рисуйте, вам зачтется, что гадать нам удалось, не удалось. Вы рисуйте, вам зачтется, что гадать нам удалось, не удалось. Вы как судьи нарисуйте наши судьбы, нашу зиму, наше лето и весну. Ничего, что мы чужие, вы рисуйте, я потом, что непонятно, объясню. Ничего, что мы чужие, вы рисуйте, я потом, что непонятно, объясню.
Рисуйте, ребята.
Живописцы, окуните ваши кисти в суету дворов арбатских и в зарю, чтобы были ваши кисти словно листья, словно листья, словно листья к ноябрю.
Взяв три цвета.
Vitaly Shamov, we're watching some videotape that was created by this cable channel in your residence, there in the basement of your residence. It goes to some 500,000 homes. What was the singer singing?
He was singing that let your brushes will be like leaves in autumn, and let them be free and easy like leaves in autumn.
What was the young kids, what was that one young man saying when with the beret on?
The young man was saying, please kids, draw your pictures.
Now you were telling me off mic that the gentleman who was in the picture with us, who was the principal of the school,
Yes.
It's the school in your complex there where these young people go to school?
Yes, exactly.
How many, do you remember how many, did you go to school there?
No, I went to school at another district.
How much creativity like this do you see on this channel? Are there a lot of programs like this?
They also show how children sing. They have a